Well, hello Internet! Welcome back to my little shop here in the basement. I've got the heat cranked up all the way so we can have a little cozy talk about some things that were falling in my hands while cleaning up here, and I thought maybe I'd like to share that with you in case you didn't know already. So what came to my fingers are those cable glands. I guess everybody's seen them. Some people already have used them, and nowadays you can buy them in all different sizes, like the tiny ones that are used quite often for normal cables. Then you can get the bigger ones, and for the really big stuff or even some cool decorations, I got these ones where you can just put a really big cable in it, or maybe I'll use them on some prop someday where you can make a pipe fitting or something with it. But nevertheless, all those modern ones come with some sort of a metric thread on there. As you can see, the threads on here are quite coarse, so you need a little bit of material to get that to thread in there. Or you can, if you have thin material, like they come with this metric threads, and use for thin pieces of metal or other stock, you simply use this washer to put it on there, and everything's good and tight and fine. And if you really go with the high quality ones, you can even get those connections waterproof. But yeah, sometimes it's working, sometimes not. So yeah, depends on how good you are with using these. But a few days ago I took something apart, which was sort of an older piece of equipment, and there I found, yeah, well, the threads on here. Hey, can we get that into focus, please? The threads on this one, for example, are much finer, which somehow made me think, okay, they used to be different in the past. And a long trip down a deep rabbit hole showed up that back in the day they didn't use metric thread on there. They used something that was called Panzerrohrgewinde on those things. And yeah, well, you get even special tools for that. This lovely piece of equipment, which is called the Stahlpanzerkluppe, and you can put that aside, and in there you can insert all kinds of different sizes of thread cutters, which are named in the correct PG and then the thread diameter. But to make things more complicated, a PG 16, like mentioned here, is not 16 millimeters. If you want to look up how big it is, you can find all sorts of tables online to get the correct dimensions. But then you have the chance to cut a thread. But don't worry about the metrics at the moment. I can tell you that as long as you have the matching inner thread cutter and the matching die, you can make a working pair, and that's all that matters. So for example, here there's the PG11 and the PG11 die. You can make a matching set. But the thing is that the teeth on here are really finely spaced. So if you have a thin piece of stock where you want to put one of those cable connectors in, then with this ones you have more thread in the thin material, and you have the nut at the back, not just for the purpose of securing it, but then you have two threads, they are counteracting each other, and you get some sort of a locking feature, which brings this thing to a really good specification and gives you a higher chance that no water is leaking in there, or dust, or whatever you want to keep out where you want to put in your cable. So if you come ever across a set of those PG thread cutters or dies, then you know what they're used for, and you can pick the one you need and set up yourself a set and install some cool cable glands with the correct thread type. In case you want to know what sizes to get, then I would say for normal and thin cables, the PG7 size should be good for most of the cable, like thin stuff. The little bigger one is PG9, which is also good. That's like the normal 3 wires, three pieces of conductor in a wire. That's perfect for most of the things I build. And if you need something a bit bigger, then you can go here with the with this PG11. So if you have any more questions about sizes or so, please let me know. I can show you what you need. And another special thing, because drilling the holes according to the sizes is a bit finicky. I mean, it starts here with 9. A 9mm drill is quite common, that's usable, but then you go to 11.4mm, which is really strange. 14 is doable, but 17.25, well, I don't have a drill bit that size to my disposal, so good idea is to get a step bit for those PG holes, so you can have the correct inner bore sizes. Well, that's it for today, and I hope you found that helpful. And yeah, let's see what we come up with next and what we can talk about in the future. See you soon. Have a great year. Have a good start. And let's get out there and build some cool stuff.